Welcome back to Big Board Sports here on 104.5 The Team, ESPN Radio. Of course, we're all pumped up for the Kentucky Derby on Saturday. News Channel 13 has the coverage for you all day long, starting at 2:30, and then the race obviously closer to 7 o'clock as we go. And hopefully the weather is better on Saturday than it looks to be on Friday at Churchill Downs. But weather aside, Rob Slack and Kirk Godby are going to be two happy gentlemen at Churchill Downs on Saturday with my boy Jack in the starting gate for the 144th running of the Kentucky Derby. And Rob and Kirk both join us now, and we'll give you the backstory here. But, guys, first of all, good morning. Good morning, Chris. How are you?
Good morning.
We're excellent. I am sure you are the same. Great anticipation ahead of Saturday's race, I know. And you guys have this rags to riches story that, reminds a lot of people, I'm sure, in the Capital Region of Funny Side 14, 15 years ago now. Take us through, Rob, if you would, how Don't Tell My Wife Stables started.
Well, it's kind of an interesting story. I started my first company in Albany out of my dorm room at Siena College. It was called Leadfoot Express, and I've been in the expedited same-day delivery business most of my life. And I was a past president and board of director member of a association, the CLDA, which is the Consolidated Logistics and Delivery Association, and Kirk is also a past president. We were in New Orleans for a board meeting, and Kirk said, I'm friends with Keith DeSormo. You guys want to go over for a backstretch tour? And being a guy from the area here, going to Saratoga since I was 5 years old, I was like, let's go. We went over. We had a great time that day. We took the backstretch tour. One of our buddies got bit on the shoulder. We thought that was absolutely hilarious. But at the end of the conversation, Keith said to us, he said, I got some stalls open here. Why don't you guys put together a few bucks? We'll buy a horse. You can have some fun with it. So we went back to the French Quarter, and as we went from bar to bar, we kept talking about it. And at the end, we said, let's do it. So in the course of setting the whole thing up, you have to get licensed, and you have to do a lot of things to set up a stable. It came down to we'd have a series of conference calls, and at the end of each conference call, one of our partners, Mike Gualtieri, who's in Hartford, Connecticut, would say at the end of each call, whatever you do, guys, don't tell my wife. She'll kill me if she knows I'm doing this. So when we went to name the LLC, Kirk asked me, what do you think we should name it? And I said, well, I think we should name it Don't Tell My Wife Stables, and it kind of stuck.
It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. $800 a pop. I'm sure you guys haven't spent $800 any better than what has transpired here. I know that money wasn't used to purchase my boy Jack, but Kirk, you're lifelong friends with Keith DeSormo. Now you'll have Kent DeSormo, of course, his brother, on the horse Saturday. What has Keith's reaction to all of this been? I imagine he's been through some rags to riches stories in the past, but now he's got one in the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. Keith is kind of helps make this story, obviously, because he was just an unbelievable horseman, and he never really got any money support in his earlier years. And when we met on the backside of Louisiana Downs 25 years ago, we became really close friends, and so we stayed in touch. And I sent him some clients, and then as Rob said, we started Don't Tell My Wife Stables, and he's what makes this happen, and we're going along for the ride. He picks our horses. He's one of the best in the country at it, and we just couldn't be more thrilled. It's a dream come true. It's why we all get in this crazy game, and we have an unbelievable team. It starts with him picking the young athletes, and then they go to Mayberry Farm down in Ocala with April Mayberry and her crew to break them and get them ready for the track, and then Keith takes them back over. And, he went through this back with Exaggerator in 2016, a horse he purchased for $110,000, and it's his third straight, Kentucky Derby. So he's getting a little used to it now. I think the word's out that he's a pretty good horseman and trainer now.
My boy Jack won the Southwest Stakes at Oaklawn, won the Lexington Stakes at Keeneland, third in the Louisiana Derby, and Rob, I want to confirm the information here that you were on the fringe here of entering the Kentucky Derby based on what happened in the last race, my boy Jack's last start, and I understand there was some serious celebrating that went on in the Queensbury Glen Lake area.
Yeah, I would say that the Glen Lake area, the Full Moon Bar and Grill, there was a lot of screaming and yelling going on. We were kind of on the bubble, and we didn't really want to run into Lexington, but we didn't want to take the chance of getting shut out. And if you look at the Louisiana Derby finish, I mean, Jack ran probably 100 feet more than anybody else in the race, and he just came up short. So, we had to run. We were extremely excited when he did cross the finish line first, and I don't think too many people have actually calmed down yet.
Rob Slack, who went to Siena College, now president of Flexible Workforce in Queensbury, and I know obviously a colleague of yours, Tom Smith, also in on all of this fun. We're joined by Rob Slack and Kirk Godby here on Big Board Sports 104.5 The Team, ESPN Radio. My boy Jack will break out of the 10-post. 20-1 are the odds I'm seeing here this morning as we speak, fellas. Kirk, as somebody who's been around horses for a very long time, what kind of chance do you give your horse?
We love our chances, Chris. We really do. It's obviously a huge thrill to make this race. I was at the trainers' dinner last night, and Pope McLean Jr. Got up and talked for a little bit, and he reminded everybody that there were 21,000 foals in 2015, and my boy Jack was one of them. So we were 1/10 of 1% to get here. But his running style sets up great for this track and for this race. He's absolutely thriving right now. Very happy horse, and if we get a pretty good hot pace and the race unfolds, like we think, like we hope, he's going to be running late. So we just hope he'll have it in the tank. We just got to hope he can get there before everybody else.
Rob, have you been to Churchill Downs before?
No, I've been to the Preakness, I've been to the Belmont, we've been to the Breeders' Cup a few times, been to every track, but I've never been to Churchill Downs, so this is going to be my first time. I'm very excited to go. I
mean, aside from visiting the Winner's Circle, what's on your bucket list? What would you love to do while you're down there?
Well, we're pretty much it's all horses all the time when we're down there, so we're going to the Oaks on Friday, and then out to dinner Friday night, and then all day at the track, and what we do on Sunday kind of depends on what happens on Saturday.
There you go. Yeah, I can imagine. Well, guys, listen, we appreciate the time here on what I know is a busy and yet exciting week for both of you and the rest of Don't Tell My Wife Stables. It's a terrific name. And my boy Jack, again, out of the 10-post during the 144th running of the Kentucky Derby. Guys, good luck. Enjoy the experience either way.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Thank you.